This week on the one and only State Champs.
We stay true to our name with swimming state finals highlights from the UP.
We've got league championship action on girls' side and hoops.
And you know this is your home for the best hockey playoff coverage.
The original high school sports show, ready to go. Hi everyone and welcome back to the one and only State Champs High School Sports Show. I'm Lauren Plant and we're presented by Lawrence Technological University. But you already knew that. You can be a college athlete and Lawrence Tech wants to be your school. They have academic and athletic scholarship money just sitting there, waiting for you to claim it. What do? Recruit yourself. Your journey begins at ltuathletics.com.
I'm Jenna Rose, and we have another jam-packed, action-packed, awesome show for you this week. Hockey fans, get ready. The playoffs are getting real interesting. Regional highlights ahead. Hoops fans, this is the time of the year you need to pay close attention. Top 25 teams being pushed to the limit. Stay tuned.
That's right, and of course, it wouldn't be State Champs without more sports coverage, including some cheerleading district action down south, swim state finals up north, wrestling districts, and a brand new DMC Game Changer segment.
We're locked and loaded. Prepare for liftoff.
I'm Lauren Plant, and we go to Warren De La Salle for a Catholic League Bishop Division League semifinal. COVID caution saw Orchard Lake and U of D Jesuit bow out, but we had a good battle between 6-2 Birmingham Brother Rice and our 12th ranked team in the state, the 8-2 Pilots. De La Salle beat up Rice by 17 back in their first meeting, and the Pilots got off to a hot start in this one. Moments after tip-off, Keithan Gilmore has it ripped away by Tristan Nichols. In transition, spots a slashing Nino Smith who hits the contested floater. Pilots continued to dial up the defense. Caleb Reese picks off the inbound pass, and it's Smith again on the receiving end who takes it to the tin. The sophomore guard Smith was en fuego in the early going. The crossover in the lane, kiss off the window. Smith had 13 and it was 20-12 Pilots after one. But this is a Brother Rice bunch that came in winners of 3 of their last 4. That included almost knocking off our number 1 team in the state, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, a few weeks back. The 6'5 sophomore Xavier Thomas going coast to coast, and the Iceman-like finger roll finds the twine. Later, it's another super sophomore for the Warriors. The 6'6 Curtis Williams Jr. from beyond the arc, he'll knock it down. He's already got offers from the likes of Maryland and Alabama. Rice continued that momentum. Williams with the alley-oop pass to the sophomore Jonathan Blackwell under the basket. He had 14. Warriors had a 29-28 lead at the break. And it was a seesaw affair the entire second half. The Pilots went back on top early in the third. Lyndon Holder on the dribble, spots the sophomore Tristan Nichols in the deep corner, splash down. He had 10 on the night. Then it was that De La Salle defense again paying dividends. Reese with the sweet swipe, taking it the other way. His shot too strong, but the sophomore Michael Sulaka there to take out the trash. Pilots held a 38-36 lead midway through the third, thanks in large part to Reese. From the top of the arch, string music. The junior guard had a 15-point effort. And like a good rivalry, neither team pulling their punches. Thomas forces the turnover, then will be rewarded with the rock in transition. Watch the big man work. Central Michigan has extended an offer for his services at the next level. He too had 15. But De La Salle remained determined. Alton Whitehead's layup won't fall, but heads-up play by the senior captain Holder, who picks off the Thomas pass, lines up for the triple, and buries it. Pilots led 44-41 after 3. Holder scored all of De La Salle points in the fourth quarter. He had multiple triple-digit scoring nights this season. Between the trees, he's going glass. He had a game-high 16 in this one. But Brother Rice knotted this one back up with 3:18 to go via the long ball. Another sophomore, Henry Garrity, popping the tray. Final moments now. Garrity's free throw gives Rice a 2-point advantage. De La Salle with the last-second heave for the win. Too strong. Brother Rice advances to the Catholic League Finals for the first time since 1999. They beat De La Salle on the road 58-56 the final.
Well, it's our first time in the Catholic League Final. Our assistant coach, Leon McDonald, was a senior in 1999 as a player the last time we've been there. So, not every Catholic League team's playing, but this is a really big deal to us. We wish we could talk about getting to Callahan Hall for our program. That means we get to the Catholic League Final. That means we get to the quarterfinal. We want to make Callahan a habit. Unfortunately, this year it's not at Callahan, but we're still in the Catholic League Final, which is a really big deal for our program. So.
To the west side of the state for girls basketball. Non-conference matchup before the start of the playoffs next week. Allendale on the road to take on Grand Rapids Covenant Christian. This one went down to the wire. Allendale having a good season. 2 of their 3 losses at the hands of 14th ranked West Catholic, and they split with a good Hamilton squad. Grace Rosser draws the D. Cross-court pass to Anna Koning. The senior drains 1 of 2 triples in the opening quarter. Falcons led 12-8 after 1. Covenant Christian coming in at 8-4 on the year. Winners of 3 in a row. The junior Chloe Capteen. The turnaround is flush. Chargers trail by a deuce at 14-12. But the Falcons would close out the half on a 6-0 run. The senior Rosser, the deep 3. Allendale went into halftime with an 8-point advantage. Chargers cut into that deficit in the third quarter. The senior, Yori Holstej, from beyond the arc, she called it the 3-point deposit off the window. Back comes Allendale. Rosser with the ball. Good look down low to Jenna Vredeveld, who drops the bunny. Falcons went into the fourth, leading 26-23. To the late stages of the game, Covenant down 30-27. The entire Holstej clan contributing. Zoe, the beautiful bounce pass to Jody, and 1. Free throw no good, Chargers down a penny. The Falcons respond moments later. Hannah Schroeder gets it to Vredeveld, who hits the jumper. Allendale back up 3, 32-29. Final moment now, 0.7 seconds left. Covenant down a point. Long inbounds, pass attempt. Schroeder there to break it up. Allendale hangs on to win 32-31 the final, finishing the regular season at 13-3.
We had a Division I wrestling district final at Lake Orion with Romeo and Oxford meeting for the championship. I'm Greg Molson with the highlights starting at 1:30. Josh McMillan gets the Bulldogs off to a strong start, winning a 13-4 major decision to give Romeo the first 4 points of the night. The Dogs would add to that advantage with the next match at 1:35 going into overtime scoreless when James Rivers gets the takedown for the sudden victory and another Romeo win. The Bulldogs would go on to win the first 6 matches. Tyler Pressel gets 3 points for a near fall on his way to another major decision at 1:52, winning 13-3 as Romeo jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Isaac Tabor finally gets the Wildcats on the board. He gets the reversal in the final seconds to beat Carson Cole 7-6. That was the first of 3 straight wins for the Cats. Jack Laundrie takes another close one, getting the takedown for the deciding points in an 8-7 victory over Joseph Haller at 189. Joey Collin turns things around for the Bulldogs with another overtime win at 285. He gets the takedown for another 3 points for Romeo. And Jack Zender wraps it up with a final hard-fought win at 125, getting the deciding points in a 3-1 win over Grady Smith as the Dogs beat the Cats 33-12. Romeo avenges a loss to Oxford in last year's districts and wins its first district title in 10 years.
Oxford's no joke of a team, and getting that lead definitely was a morale booster that we needed.
Well, I was real proud of them, especially going against such a good team. I mean, Oxford's like always up there in the top 10 in the state, and they're always competitive, and a lot of those matches were close matches. So we were fortunate to get some of those, and we got a lot of respect for those guys, but I'm real proud of our guys too.
State Champs Michigan's high school sports show is brought to you in part by the Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. Time now to take a look inside Lawrence Technological University Athletics. If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports.
My name is Marisa Osink. I play the clarinet. I'm studying robotics engineering. So the robotics program here, it's mostly a mesh between the computer science courses, mechanical courses, and electrical engineering courses. And then in addition to that, there's a course sequence for robotics classes specifically. In each one of those, there's always a project that we have to do. It's very hands-on, and the class sizes for that are really small because there's not a lot of robotics majors. You get to know your classmates really well, you get to know the professors really well, and it's just been a really great experience, and I've learned a lot. Everyone always says that band is like a family, and because we're a smaller school, I feel like that's more true here. The marching band is the first place where I found friendly faces who were willing to talk to me about my class schedule, and everyone is just very welcoming, and it was a nice place to start on campus. It's a small campus, but it's still in the city. There's a lot of things around. You know, there's never going to be a night once COVID's over that you don't have anything to do. And even still, there's a lot of things that are going on just online right now. And I talk to a whole bunch of people every day, and it's really a good community.
Take your future into your hands. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare. Title time in the KLAA Girls Basketball League Championship. A top 10 in the state matchup. Second-ranked Heartland going for back-to-back league crowns as they travel to take on the 9th-ranked Zebras from Wayne Memorial. Heartland coming in with the perfect record at 14-0, getting ready for quite possibly a very long postseason run. First quarter, good ball movement until Sid Cadell finds Lily Gustafson down low. She gets the scoring started. Wayne came in at 11-1, but more important, averaging nearly 71 points a game, scoring much tougher in this one. Took nearly 5 minutes to get their first bucket. Lachelle Austin gets the pass off the pick, the drive, and the finish. But Heartland has given up more than 30 points to an opponent just once all season. End of the quarter, Eagles' Amanda Roach showing no fear into the paint. The bucket before the buzzer. Heartland led 14-6 after the first. The Eagles working the inside-outside game effectively in the second. The 6'1" Lily Gustafson inside kicks it out to Lauren Solom, and she dials it up from long distance. The Zebras playing without their great post presence in Minnesota-bound Alana Michaud due to injury. 6'3" Davi Matthews asked to carry much of the load inside. She finds Paris Robinson, who drains it from the outside, her second three of the quarter. But Heartland was hot in the second and finding open looks. Emmy Sargent spots Leah Lappin, and she knocks down the three. Lappin at a game-high 16 points. Eagles led by 11 at the half. Zebras cut the deficit down to 4 in the third. In the fourth, Austin draws the attention. Mayla Ham wide open underneath. She gets 2 of her team-high 11. But Heartland only allowed 5 points in the final stanza. Gracie Metz gets the rebound and a perfect outlet to a streaking Lappin for the easy lay-in. The Heartland defense the story as they limit Wayne Memorial to their lowest shooting percentage in 6 years. Eagles repeat as KLAA tourney champs, 48-30 the final.
I'm Jake Durant from the UP. No fans in the stands at Marquette Senior High School for the UP swim finals, but there wasn't a lack of energy at the pool. In the boys' 200-yard medley relay, Marquette's team of Andrew King, Colin Vanderschaft, Liam McFerrin, and Maverick Baldwin would finish first with a time of 1 minute 45:49. Houghton finished second, followed by Sault Ste. Marie. Marquette would continue to swim strong as we move to the boys' 200-yard freestyle. Liam McFerrin would separate himself from the pack, finishing first with a time of 1:54.84, a full 6 seconds in front of second-place finisher Evan Arbic of Sault Ste. Marie. We continue to the boys' 100-yard freestyle. Marquette absolutely dominated this event. Maverick Baldwin clocked a time of 52.67 for first place. His teammates Bobby Karen would take second, followed by Hobie Manson in third, a sweep for the host school. Don't blink, we got the boys' 50-yard freestyle next. Morgan Bird of Sault Ste. Marie able to hold off Hobie Manson of Marquette to take first place. Bird clocked a time of 22.68. Manson 22.88, and in third was Maverick Baldwin of Marquette with a time of 23.18. The boys' 200-yard individual medley. Houghton's Davin Evans showed that he can master any technique. He would come in first with a time of 2:13.84, followed by Marquette's Jackson O'Connor second and Colin Lafayette of Marquette third. And we'll finish up with the boys' 100-yard butterfly. What can you say about Marquette's Liam McFerrin? Again, he will touch the wall first. His time was 59.84. Marquette's Caden Lafayette would place second, and Alex Gooch of Marquette would come in third. Marquette feeling right at home in their own waters. When all is said and done, Marquette takes first place with an overall team score of 421. Houghton High School comes in second with a score of 227. Third is Sault Ste. Marie with 170, followed by Kingsford, Manistee, Rudyard, Ishpeming-Negaunee, and Westwood. The girls' UP swim finals had it all. These swimmers really put on a show. We're going to start with the 200-yard freestyle. Check out the last length. In the lead is Sault Ste. Marie's Ann Hildebrand. She led most of this race, but as we come down the stretch, Marquette's Lexi Lacombe hits another gear. Lacombe going to touch the wall first with a time of 2:04.97. Hildebrand second at 2:06.91, and in third was Hannah Wynn of Marquette with a time of 2:09.91. We move to the 200 individual medley. Aaliyah Robertson of Sault Ste. Marie was in a league of her own as she finished with a time of 2:08.40. Marquette's Grace Sobchak places second, her time 2:23.47. Third was Maddie Wood of Marquette at 2:33.16. On to the 50-yard freestyle. Another Blue Devil out leading the pack. That is Joanne Arbic of Sault Ste. Marie. She clocks a time of 25:03 for first place. Second goes to Julie Inner-Ebner of the Sioux with a time of 25:59. Leah Komarzek of Houghton finishes third with a time of 26:93. We had a record-setting performance in the 100-yard butterfly. Kingsford freshman Adelaide McRoberts showed she belongs, clocking a time of 58:89, a new pool and UP record. Delaney Marchial of Marquette placed second with a time of 1:05.41, and in third, Julie Inner-Ebner of the Sioux with a time of 1:05.98.
It was a great accomplishment for me considering I'm only a freshman, and that was my goal, to come here and hopefully get a record and win. I have been training a lot. It feels great considering that all the hard work worked out in the end. I'm really happy. I love the environment, and everyone here is very nice and fast, and I'm glad that everyone could make it here.
Let's finish with the 100-yard freestyle. Joanne Arbic of the Sioux finishing strong with a time of 55.45 to place first. Second belonged to Ann Hildebrand of the Sioux with a time of 56.20. And Lexi Lacombe of Marquette comes in third with a time of 56.55. A string of strong performances by the Sioux Blue Devils is the reason why they take home a UP Finals championship with a score of 347. Marquette a close second with 313. In third is Kingsford with 162, followed by Manistee, Rudyard, Ishpeming-Negaunee, and Westwood.
Let's go to Monroe Jefferson High School for the Division III MHSAA competitive cheer districts from Friday night. 12 schools vying for 4 spots to advance to the regionals. And we began with Onstead and their performance in round 1. The Wildcats punched their ticket to regionals as they finished 4th. Next up, the Lady Rams repping from Flat Rock High School, here with a good showing in the second round. Flat Rock ended up in third place and is also moving on to regionals. The host school from Monroe Jefferson looking to move on as well due to an injury to one of their cheerleaders during round 3. They had to pick up their routine where it was left off, and the Bears dazzled the home faithful. They finished runner-up and are also moving on. The team to beat on this night was from Grosse Ile. Here the Red Devils in round 1 action. They had the best score in the third round. As Grosse Ile goes on to be your Division III district champions.
State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about how you can improve your explosive power. Did you know improving your power can take your athletic performance to the next level? What is power? It's a combination of both strength and speed. Now, strength is the maximum amount of force that you can generate. For example, if I'm doing a squat, how much weight can I lift? Power is now being able to take that maximum strength and lift it quickly. That's where sport lives. Here are 3 great drills you can do to improve your power. Begin with balance. Start on a board, looking straight forward, find your center point. Once you've got it, he's going to do 3 quick taps, right, left, right, and then refocus on balance. Now left, right, left. Refocus on balance. Repeat this for 3 to 5 minutes. The second exercise is the explosive squat utilizing a medicine ball. Begin by loading your squat, pushing into the ground with your feet. Now drive through the ground up using your quads and glute muscles. We'll add the explosiveness of the medicine ball next. As he's loaded, he explodes and goes up straight with the ball. Don't worry about catching the ball, just reset and perform the exercise again. Squat down, load, explode. The third exercise develops single leg power. Begin by choosing a box or some step-up plates that are just below your knee. Place that foot up on top of the box, and now you're going to focus on pushing through this leg and powering up as high as you can. Use your arms to do this by reaching towards the ceiling. It looks like this. Start with 10 repetitions on the right leg. Then do the exact same thing on the left leg for 10 repetitions. Rest for 2 minutes between each set and perform 2 to 3 sets. For more ways to improve your sports performance, contact the experts at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
I'm Ryan Slocum in Flint, where Carman Ainsworth was trying to end the regular season with a win over Lapeer. The Cavs believe they had a letdown against Davison in their previous game, and the Lightning catch them early in this one. Gavin Carr parking in the corner. He nets the game's first bucket. Couple of trips later, it's Cole Bennett dropping it off to Kyle Freeland. Lapeer takes a 5-0 lead out of the gate. But the Cavs respond in a big way. Rasheed Brown with the pass to Isaiah Jones for the lay-in. That hoop was so good, I had to FaceTime my mama. Later, it's fellow junior Makai Ellison working to James Harden, getting into the paint for the floater. The Cavs go on a 31-5 run. They led it by 20 at the break. The Lightning strike in the third. Cole Bennett on the wing for 3. Lapeer seeing a little bit of life, but coming off that loss to Davison, CA wasn't about to let another one slip. It's Sheed laying it in to extend the lead. Then it's Ellison with the drive and dish to Ramil Odom inside. And finally, it's Jason Green putting it away with 3 of his game-high 15 points. Cheer on, little lady. Carman Ainsworth avenges what they consider an uncharacteristic loss to Davison the night before, 52-26, the final.
What happened last night was we thought teams were going to lay down for us because we're Carman Ainsworth, but we learned that a team like Davison, they're not going to lay down for us. They lost to Lapeer. And you see, we came out tonight with a different energy because we came together as a team last night, talked it over, realized teams weren't going to lay down, and got it done tonight.
I'm hoping this is a wake-up call for my guys that just because you step on the floor doesn't mean it's going to be a win. You got to fight every day for the rest of the way here since it's district time and tournament time. We can't have no lackluster effort. We got to go 100% all the time, and we got to start grinding.
We go to the west side of the state for some boys basketball action. Zeeland East looking to end the regular season a perfect 16-0 as they went on the road to Muskegon on senior day for the Big Reds. Zeeland East currently ranked 4th overall in our team rankings, and they were going to the outside game in the first. The senior Trip Riemersma hits it from downtown. He had a game-high 22 points. Muskegon coming in with a 12-5 record. Junior Maurice Sane, he goes coast to coast for the lay-in. The Big Reds up 10-7 after the opening quarter. Zeeland East continuing to go outside in the second. The southpaw Luke Gruppen drains the 3-ball. That tied the game at 13. Muskegon still finding ways to get transition buckets. Jordan Briggs gets it to Khalil Stimage. He gets the contested lay-in. Big Reds led it 25-23 at the half. Zeeland East then opens the second half on a 6-0 run. The Clairbeau brothers working it here. Brandon feeds it to Nate, who hits the soft hook. Chicks now lead 29-25. The Big Reds trying to calm the storm. Sane gets the feed inside. He drops the bunny and finished with 10 points on the night. But it's Zeeland East again on the prowl. Nate Clairbeau had 10 points in the third. Here working inside again. The Chicks went into the fourth up 48-37. Muskegon not giving up in the final stanza. Jordan Briggs gets the steal. He goes in for the lay-in and finished with a team-high 14 points. But it would be too much Zeeland East. Riemersma with the patience. He finds Ethan Hu tailing for the bucket. That was their only field goal in the fourth as Zeeland East goes on to win it. 59-52 is the final. They finish the regular season undefeated at 17-0.
State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards, taking place June 7th. State Champs, Michigan's hockey coverage presented by Alta Equipment Company. Also brought to you in part by Warrior Hockey.
Welcome inside the State Champs studios on the campus of Lawrence Technological University. Welcome to State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Jonathan Kidd along with Sean Belich. Sean, it's the playoffs now.
Let's go. This is what we're talking about. You guys made it. Now the sprint begins. Best of luck to every single team out there.
We go to a Division III hockey regional semifinal from Thursday afternoon. Riverview, Gabriel Richard playing its first game in 29 days as they went up against Grosse Ile, which is coming off a 4-overtime win over Wyandotte Roosevelt in Tuesday's playoff opener. The Pioneers looking to win their 4th straight regional crown. They would light the lamp just over a minute in. Vinny Sensoli keeps the puck in the offensive end, and the junior fires the wrister from the blue line to the back of the net. He gives Richard a 1-0 lead. And they would strike again just 4 minutes later. Nathan Schwein's shot is deflected by the sophomore Nick DeSanto to the top shelf. That puts the Pioneers up a pair. Still in the first, Grosse Ile on the power play now. Then Carter shoots it from the point. The senior Adam Karjanian is there to bang home the rebound. The Red Devils down just a goal. And GI wasn't done. 3 minutes later, off the face-off, it's the sophomore Nolan Karn knocking home another rebound. Just like that, they were knotted up at 2 apiece after the opening period. But the Pioneers would move back in front early in the second. Brody Kirkpatrick gets it to DeSanto. The puck just trickles in for his second goal of the game. Richard now up 3-2. Pioneers with a man advantage with 9 to play in the second. Robbie Childs tracks it down and goes 5-hole for his team-leading 8th goal of the campaign. Gabriel Richard heads into the final frame leading 4-2. Early stages of the third, Sebastian Potter picks it off. He then finishes the deal for his 6th goal of the year. Richard in command, up 5-2. But don't count Grosse Ile out just yet. Check out Carter with the wicked one-timer that goes top cheddar. The Red Devils down 5-3. Then, with just over 4 minutes to play, the Devils get another one. Sophomore Travis Simons gets his name on the score sheet. We now have a 1-goal game. Jump ahead, just 8 seconds to play in this one. Grosse Ile pulls the goalie to get the extra skater, but they couldn't get the puck on net. And Riverview, Gabriel Richard survives and advances. 5-4 is your final score.
It feels great. We haven't played a game in 29 days. So we were waiting for this, we were ready, and I feel like we showed up and sent a message.
It's a win and we celebrate. Everybody knows as far as high school hockey state playoffs, it's just survive. That's it. Survive and move on, survive and move on. They dug deep, and I'm so proud of each and every one of them.
I'm Greg Molson at Orchard Lake St. Mary's for a regional final between KLAA rivals Brighton and Howell, meeting in a rematch of last year's regional final, won by the Highlanders. But it's the Bulldogs scoring first in this one. Lars Urkala flying down the wing. He picks the corner with a perfect shot, giving Brighton the lead. And the Dogs add to it with a 2-on-1. Joseph Lacola getting it to Dale Woolart. He goes to the backhand to make it 2-zip heading into the second. Here comes Howell with a chance to cut the lead in half. Dominic Girardin turning on the speed, but he's robbed by Chris Wozniak. Brighton then scores again. Woolart chases down the puck at the goal line and makes the great pass back to Lacola to make it 3-0. The Bulldogs dominating, with sophomore Nick Baker joining the fun with one more goal. That was more than enough, as the Dogs' defense would take over the rest of the way, only allowing 14 Highlander shots on the night, and Wozniak stopped every one of them. Brighton avenges last year's loss with a 4-0 win, winning its first regional title since 2018.
Feels great. I mean, since I've been here, we haven't won one, so it's good to get that first one in, especially against the team who knocked us out last year. So it feels great.
Oh, it was everything. Like them knocking us out, especially in our own barn. We had a chip on our shoulder. We were going to come out here and do anything it takes to win.
The Bulldogs did not raise the regional championship trophy, though. Like NHL teams in the conference finals, they didn't touch this trophy.
There's a bigger trophy yet to win. I know some teams make a big deal about the regional. Traditionally we've been a pretty strong team, and the goal's not the regional, the goal is the state championship.
I'm Ryan Slocum at the Bay County Ice Arena, where Saginaw Heritage took on Midland in a Division I hockey regional final. The Hawks had plenty of chances in the first. Ethan Houck skates in, but is denied by Taylor White. Then it's Evan Greenwood in front for the one-timer, but White has his number as well. The game was scoreless after the first. Heritage would finally get one past White in the second. It's Houck sending it across to Cole Winters, who finds the back of the net to score the game's first goal. Minutes later, John Michael Watson sends a bouncing puck from the point that somehow finds its way home. That gives Heritage a 2-0 lead. And they weren't done. With just over a minute to play in the second, it's Houck from behind the net to Greenwood. Just like that, the Green Guys have a 3-0 lead heading into the final period. And the Hawks would keep the pressure on. Mark Merrill sends it from the blue line, and Winters is there for the redirection. The Hawks would add another pair while giving up none. Heritage moves on to the quarterfinals for the fourth year in a row, beating Midland 6-0 the final.
I think we've had a really good season so far. We've worked really hard in practices, and we've all bought into it, and I think we were ready to play today. It means a lot. We really want to get back to the Final Four and get back to USA Arena.
Yeah, I thought we executed our game plan really well, and I think we did a good job at eliminating their scoring chances and doing the things that we need to do to get our scoring chances. I mean, it was 0-0 after the first period. We had a lot of shots on net. Their goalie was playing really well. But again, I think we executed what we were trying to do. It was just, we were hoping that a matter of time before one popped in.
Time for our Coach's Corner, brought to you by the Coaches Association. One of those fine coaches here in the great state of Michigan happens to be the head coach up at Calumet. Sorry, Coach, but we've had you at number one the last couple of weeks. Let's welcome him in, the head coach of the Calumet Copper Kings, Coach Dan Giacchino. Dan, really appreciate you taking the time today. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good, and I certainly thank you for the opportunity.
Dan, this year has been a year unlike any other, but if we can for just a moment, let's talk about what happened a year ago at this time. I mean, it was devastation for everybody. I think especially, you guys driving all the way down here. The Copper Kings mean so much to that community. Just tell us what that meant to you from your perspective.
And I've told numerous people this, but that was the hands down hardest coaching day of my life. To tell those kids that their season ended on a practice rink in Novi. It's just the uncontrollableness of the whole thing. And when you coach at a small school, you get so many bites at the apple over the course of time, and it certainly felt, at least from our perspective, that we felt like we had a really good chance to win something, and to basically lose and not have it happen on the ice it was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow, but I think the kids have come back more resilient than ever this year.
I say it each and every year. We've been doing this show for years. I'm going to say it every year. I mean, I feel sorry for yourselves, for Hancock, for Houghton. It just seems like every year there's at least two. This year it seems like there's three teams up there. But let's face it, I think you guys have separated yourself from the pack this year. What is making this Copper Kings team so successful right now? You guys are still unbeaten, only a single tie, but how's this all working from your vantage point?
We lost 10 seniors from last year. And then we also lost, Tanner Rowe is gone from the program. He's moved on, and he would have been a senior this year. So we lost 11 kids out of 18. So, there was a lot of question marks and there was a lot of uncertainty as to what we were going to have. And we also didn't know if we were going to have Dean Locus, playing for us or not. So, there was a lot of uncertainty with what we were going to have in the locker room this year. And I hate to use the word surprise because, I certainly had a lot of confidence and have a lot of confidence, but you just, with so much changeover, you didn't know. What's been working for us has been team defense. We've done a fantastic job from a defensive standpoint. Shots and quality of shots that we've given up has been pretty reduced. And then when we do have the mistakes, we got a pretty good goaltender sitting there behind us with Axel Locus. And offensively, our first line drives our bus pretty hard. Dean, obviously, with 60 points in 15 games it's just, to me, is ridiculous. I don't care who you're playing and what the competition level is. He's putting up 3 to 5 points every night. So it's been the combination of those things, but all the ingredients have gone in and it's been working out pretty well.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, we look forward to seeing you. Best of luck to you. There's no guarantees getting here. Single elimination, as you well know, but you guys made a great run last year. Best of luck to you guys in the hopes of making another great run this year as well.
All right, thank you, Sean. And I just from our perspective up here, we thank everything you do for high school hockey. You and John do a tremendous job, and I think the exposure of high school hockey, you guys are having a lot to do with it. So I definitely thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And Mutual Admiration Society, you do a heck of a lot for the sport, and we appreciate you and your team as well. Dan Giacchino kindly joining us, Coach's Corner, right here on State Champs.
All right, it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. So Sean brought back the gloves.
These are great gloves, and perfect fit right there with the Covert QRE10. So again, shout out to Warrior. Support the people that support us. Thank you, Warrior, for making this great event happen.
Remember, you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Our top 10 stays the same from last week. We did make a change we didn't get a chance to talk about in last week's show, was Andrew Larson from Heartland. He's
unbelievable. Again, we had a chance to see him up close and personal for our Ulta Game of the Week, and then I saw him again against Novi. I think what Coach Gadwa said about him is true. He's like a magnet, and he attracts the puck. And vice versa. Honestly, it always seems that he's in the right place at the right time. He can find the puck. He's got one speed, and it's go. It is a joy to watch him play. It really is. There's something about hockey in that family.
Yeah, his brother won Mr. Hockey.
Absolutely, and Andrew is continuing a proud tradition. He's one of those guys, John, the best way to describe him, I was talking to another coach about this, and we came to the conclusion, watch him play. That would be we could sit here and talk about all the things that he does, and we did a bit, but you know what? You watch him play. He goes. I'll tell you what, he's a big part of why Heartland is, once again, in your truly opinion, the team to beat in Division II.
Remember, you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Like we said last week in the show, we are not going to freeze our top 10. We're going to wait till after the quarterfinals to freeze our top 10 and eventually going to pick our final four.
Yeah, can't wait to do it. That's always a fun time, John, when we exchange a bunch of text messages with a bunch of coaches and everything. And, hopefully this year we get a chance to do it when all is said and done.
And that is our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update.
Championship on the line with Rochester United taking the ice to take on Lake Orion at the Detroit Skating Club. I'm Greg Molson with the highlights, and it's Parker Olowski with an early chance for Rochester, but he's denied by Devin Parker. At the other end, it's Brandon Bages with some nice moves, but his shot is stopped by Kyle Kuiper. It remains scoreless into the second when the Dragons come out breathing fire. It's Bages stopped again, but this time Cade Manzo is right there for the rebound, giving Lake Orion the lead. They'd add another one just over a minute later. It's Andrew Podick with the shot off the defender's stick and into the net to make it 2-0. And the Dragons put it away in the third. Bajas sets up Podick for his second of the night to make it 3-zip. And they'd add one more, with Bajas getting his third assist of the night, getting it to Brendan Finn for the empty netter as Lake Orion wins 4-0, claiming just its third regional title in school history.
It means everything for us and the seniors. We knew that we had to make a stand on our senior year especially, and it just feels really good to finally get a regional championship back at Lake Orion.
It's great. I think this is the third or fourth time in Lake Orion history that they've won it. So very special for this group of kids. We got 12 seniors. They played great today, everyone, the whole team. They bought in 4-0 against a good team, shutting them out. I was really proud of this group of guys we have.
I'm Zach Herrick from the West Michigan area. An outstanding regional championship matchup between Mona Shores and unbeaten Byron Center at Wings West. Mona Shores in front 1-0 midway through the second period, but off the face-off, it's Trevor Davis with the wrist shot. Nick Shepers deflects it in, and we are knotted at 1. But minutes later, the Sailors strike back on the power play. Ty Langlois with the slap shot, and Trent Benedict is there to clean it up with the rebound in front. Shores takes a 2-1 lead into the break. Of course, nothing new for Byron Center, and the Bulldogs would remain composed once again throughout the game. After tying it at 2, it's Mason Breet leaving it for sophomore Logan Nicholas. He goes top shelf for the game winner. Byron Center comes back from yet another third period deficit to win it 3-2 as they advance to the state quarterfinals to take on Heartland.
I think I got to keep going back to the senior leadership and sticking with the process and playing our game and fighting hard. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud of the group we have and just their mental fortitude to stay with it and keep battling.
Just staying undefeated is a good feeling. You know, we worked so hard for this and it's the best feeling in the world. My boy Mason, he gave me a good pass in the middle and I just shot it at the net and it happened to go in.
Hey, what is up? It's Sean Belegian here. I want to take a moment and give a shout out to our friends at the Alta Equipment Company. They do so many great things, not only for the community, but certainly for the high school hockey community. One of the things that they do is sponsor our main event.
We had a Division II regional final from Saturday afternoon as Novi took on the Livonia Stevenson Spartans. These teams had a classic 3-overtime affair in last year's regional final, which Stevenson came out on top. The Spartans playing their first game in 17 days. They outshot Novi 10-8 in the opening period. Our Hockey Player of the Year candidate Nick Justice with the slapper, but he's denied by Novi netminder Austin Muirhead. We were scoreless after the first. Stevenson keeping the pressure on in the second. Jack Smith with the intercept. He feeds it to Brendan Hurd, but he's stopped not once, but twice by the junior Muirhead, and we still have zeros on the board. But the Wildcats would light the lamp just moments later. You can't score if you don't shoot, and the senior Austin Balconi throws it at the net. It deflects off a Stevenson skate and goes in. Novi takes a 1-0 lead. But the Spartans would go on the man advantage with just over 2 to go in the second. Junior Adam Hurd throws it from the point. It gets by Muirhead, and we were tied at 1 heading into the third. We go to the late stages. Novi with a great opportunity here. The puck goes off the board and onto the stick of Nate Erskine, but he is robbed by Stevenson goalie Aiden Maluski. It was still 1-1 as we head to overtime. And this year's regional final, we only needed one extra session as Balconi gets the puck and snaps in the game winner. Novi wins a thriller. 2-1 is the final for its first regional title in 6 years.
It feels insane. It's what we worked for all season. We obviously lost to a heartbreaker to them last year. We just did it for all the seniors. It was everybody who contributed. My whole line, everybody, the whole game.
It feels great. I mean, last year we had a tough loss to them in triple overtime. It feels great. It's a game of mistakes, and we made less mistakes than them, and we came through and got the win.
It's great. I'm so happy and proud of these guys. We've worked so hard since we've started in November, even during the summer, and you know, the hard work and the hockey guys that were with us today. I couldn't be more proud of the team right now.
They'll face Trenton in the Division II quarterfinal next week. The main event is presented by the Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
One of the best parts of my job is seeing kids do great things both on and off the court, and watching these kids grow into the next generation of our leaders. One of the ways we do that is through a great partnership with Farm Bureau Insurance on the Scholar Athlete Award. This year, 32 senior students received a $1,000 scholarship for their work both on and off the court. This is something Farm Bureau and the MHSAA have now done for 32 years, and in total, $864,000 have been awarded in the form of scholarships. To be eligible, student athletes must have a 3.5 grade point average, earned at least one varsity letter in an MHSAA sport, and filled out an application, which included an essay about the importance of sportsmanship in educational athletics. Applications for next year's program will be available next fall. And to read more about this year's winners, please go to the newly redesigned portion of our website, Second Half. You can reach that by going to MHSAA.com.
While this has been the most unconventional year for high school sports continue. We are there to cover it, and that was another great show.
No doubt. We love bringing it to you each and every week. We hope you do too. Now, if you do, we need your help. It's really important you like, follow, subscribe, and share your favorite State Champs content on our social media channels, whatever your preference. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. The bigger the audience, the more games we'll cover.
And so many of you reach out to us to let us know what you want covered here on State Champs. Please continue to do so. If it makes sense, we are there. And Lauren, I know it's your preference to believe that you actually have a chance at winning Rochambeau, but let's be real, it's a pipe dream.
Let's do this. Here we go. In 3. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's do that. Rochambeau. I'm just not going to stop. I'm going to stop playing this. We're done. Last one. State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation, Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Warrior Hockey and the new Covert QRE10 stick. Elite puck feel and quick release for players of all ages. The Warrior Covert QRE10 stick. There's no feeling like it.